Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I spent the last week with my parents and the highlight for this trip was definitely all the delicious food that my mom prepared for me. Being a Bengali, I am a big fish lover. So during this trip, I asked mom to teach me a few recipes that are easy to make but are delicious. So for this video, I thought I will share these recipes with you guys. These are my favorite fish recipes and I really hope that you will love them too. So without any delay, let's get started with today's video. So the first recipe is a prawn potato curry. I'm a big seafood lover. I love prawns, I love potato, and this is like a comfort meal for me. So the first thing that I'm doing over here is I'm chopping up some potatoes. I decided to help my mom with chopping the vegetables and all of that. So I'm slicing up the potato into really thin slices so that it cooks well with the prawn. And then I roughly chopped up some onion and some tomato and ginger using this manual chopper. I bought one for myself and one for my mom very recently and it works really well. So yeah, this is all the preps that are needed for the recipe, and now let's get into the recipe. So Ma started off by adding some vegetable oil in a karai, and then she also added some ghee for some extra fragrance. I love the fragrance of ghee in all my Bengali or Indian recipes, so yeah, mom added that. And once the oil heated up, she added some jeera, one bay leaf and some homemade fresh garam masala to the karai. So this garam masala is way more fragrant than any store-bought one, and me and my mom love making it fresh at home. And then she sauteed the spices in the oil for a while before adding the onion. So after adding the onion along with the spices, she just cooked everything for a while till the onions get soft and translucent. You can also cover the karai and allow it to cook for some time. It takes a little while, but it's a very important step. So once the spices and onions are cooked down, she is adding the potatoes. Now the potatoes take longer to cook than the prawns. So make sure that you are adding it way before you add the prawns so that they also get soft and the prawns does not get overcooked. And yeah, basically you will have to fry the potato for a while. That's what she is doing over here. And once the potatoes are fried down a little bit, she added the chopped up tomato and ginger. Next, she added some sugar, some salt, some turmeric powder and some homemade jeera powder. And after giving everything a really good stir, it's finally time to add the prawns. So here she is adding the prawns. Now you can add any size of prawn for this recipe, but I prefer these medium sized prawn for this particular recipe, and that's what my mom is using for this one. And then she covered it with a lid and allowed it to cook for 5 to 6 minutes. And this is how it looks like once it's cooked. The potatoes are softer at this point of time and the prawns are also nearly done. So adding extra water is not a must for this recipe, but because I love to have this with my rice, I just love having some gravy in it, and so mom added a little extra water to make some gravy. And yeah, she brought everything together, allowed it to shimmer for 5 to 6 minutes more, and then the preparation is all ready to be served. And tada! This is how the final recipe looks like. Trust me guys, this is super duper yummy. Do give it a try. I'm sure you will love this as much as I do. So the next recipe is a curd based fish curry, and for this recipe you will have to fry the fishes first before making the curry. Now we prefer using katla fish for this recipe, but you can use anything else that's available. It can be salmon, it can be mackerel, it can be surmai, anything that's available. So while Ma was frying the fishes, I chopped up one medium-sized onion into some thin slices. And once the fish was fried, she added some bay leaf and fresh homemade garam masala in the same karai, and to this she also added the onion slices. So as you can see, the fish was marinated with salt and turmeric before it was fried, and so there is some leftover turmeric in the karai and the onion is getting a beautiful yellowish color. And to this she also added some ginger paste, 1 tablespoon of ginger paste, and sauteing everything together. And while this cooks down, she prepared the curd for the gravy. Now for the curd, we prefer using homemade curd. That's what we are using for this recipe. And mom added a pinch of salt to this and beat it up really well to make sure that there's no lump left. And yeah, after some time it becomes very smooth. And once it looks somewhat like this, you can add it to the onion mixture. So once the onion is cooked down, she added the curd and gave everything a good stir and allowed the gravy to boil for some time. And yeah, once the raw smell of the curd is somewhat gone and it comes to a shimmer, then she added the fish. And yeah, here she is adding the fish. Because the fish is already fried, it does not take a long time to cook. So she just added the fish, allowed each side to cook for 5 to 6 minutes, and then flipped the fish, allowed the other side to cook too, to make sure that the gravy is soaked properly in the fish and it has become soft. And yeah, after 10 minutes it's completely cooked and ready to be served. And this is how the final dish looks like. It has a beautiful yellow color. It looks very elegant, and trust me, it tastes equally good. Now the final recipe is an easy version of steamed hilsa fish, and for this recipe the most important thing is the poppy seed and mustard seed paste. So she added equal parts of poppy seed and mustard seed in the small grinder jar. So the grinding process does not take a lot of time. You don't want a very smooth powder, you want a coarse mixture of both the seeds. So after 1 minute, this is how it looks like. And to this, she added some water and then used a spoon to mix it along with the powder to make it into a paste. And to make sure that everything is mixed together really well, she put it back to the grinder for another minute. And after that, this is how the paste looks like. And to make the texture of this paste a little runny and thinner, she added a little water to this. So next she is chopping up 1 tomato into very small pieces. So basically this recipe is prepared in the microwave and it does not take a lot of time to cook. So make sure that you are chopping up the tomatoes into really small pieces so that it gets cooked within that short span of time. So next she is adding the salt and the turmeric. The good thing about this recipe is that you can add everything in one go and then cook it in the microwave. And then she is giving it a good stir to make sure that everything gets mixed really well together. And to this she is also adding 1 chili. And finally it's time to add the fish. So we are using hilsa fish for this recipe, which is the favorite fish for most Bengalis. I did not like this fish as a kid, but now I am a big fan of this. But it's not available throughout the year and it's not available everywhere. So if you are not a big fan of this particular fish, you can use any other fish of your choice. You can also use seafood. So yeah, she is making sure that all the fish pieces are evenly coated with the gravy. And once that's done, it's time to add the final touch, which is some mustard oil. It actually brings out the taste of the hilsa fish. So yeah, make sure that you are adding this oil before putting it into the microwave. And yeah, cook it in the microwave for 5 to 6 minutes. You can also bring it out in between to turn the fish over. And this is how it looks like after 6 minutes of cooking. It looks beautiful, it smells amazing, and God, I cannot even explain how good it tastes. You must give it a try and tell me if you have liked the recipe. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Do let me know what you think about this one, and also let me know if you want to see more of my mom's cooking on my channel. I will be back with a new video super soon. Till then, take care and bye bye.